So here we go again. Last week and the week before weren't enough. Now they're trying to take my kid away from me again with another freaking restraining order. And now my mother is actually fucking going and bringing in a restraining order against me for her and my stepdad. And the simple fact of the matter is these people have been screwing with my head for the last year because they refuse to talk. And the only thing I get out of them is them basically telling me that I am worthless, a liar, and a user. My mother's basically looked at me point blank Saturday and told me that she doesn't care if I attempt suicide. Now they're putting words in my mouth, saying that I'm threatening them. When what I said is, are they screwing with me so much that they're trying to incite me to kill them or go crazy and kill myself? Gotta love it. Trying to say that I'm going to take off with my kid. I have sat here and stayed exactly where I'm at because of the exact thing. Because I know what happened to me when I was taken off with the way that I was. I've basically been sitting here trying to get someone to actually talk to me in a rational manner so that way problems haven't escalated to this. But each and every one of you in this frickin' situation want to sit there and basically say that there's nothing wrong with me until it fucking is in your benefit to do it in court papers. Because if there's something so goddamn wrong with me, why haven't you went to my therapy that I've been going to for a year when I've begged you to? Instead of shit like this. But no. There's nothing wrong with you. You're going to sit there and freaking mentally abuse me and kick me out. That's how it works. Great. It's absolutely amazing that this situation has gone this far. And it shouldn't be any surprise, considering the fact that, the first thing that they nail into this document is the fact that they're going to go and try and say that they're afraid that I'm going to take off with my daughter. And the fact that I was taken by my father when I was 7 years old, and my mother lost me until I was 21. And in this entire time, I have not been able to sit my mother down and talk about any of this because it affects me and it affects her. And in so doing, it has basically affected the entire relationship and everybody around us. Because I am screwed up in the head and I can't get the people that were involved in it to talk. See, I've given up on my father because he is exactly what he is. My father is probably where I got 90% of my mental issues from, just for the simple fact that I think that he probably has several of the disorders that I've got. And when I was taken, it went and escalated it to the point of, here I sit, this screwed up person that has been fighting for my disability for a year, that has been desperately fighting for my family, and all I get is, we don't want anything to do with you, and all of the crap that I've taken for being unable to be able to function. Because instead of looking at it from what it is, they look at it as exactly what they're looking at it as, that I am a flake and a user. And they don't stop to understand the history that I've got, and they have gone to the point to where every time I see my mother the last couple weeks, it's basically been one freaking cut after another. When your mother looks at you and tells you that the only thing she feels for you is hate and anger, doesn't exactly make you feel good, does it? When your mother looks at you and tells you point blank that she did not raise you and make you what you are, that you're not her responsibility, doesn't feel good, does it? When all I've ever done is try over and over and over to talk to my mother. Matter of fact, one of the last times that I was in her house and was trying to talk to her, the moment that my mother frickin' decided that she didn't want to deal with it anymore, she goes and raises her voice. I look over my shoulder and my stepdad's standing there staring me down, looking like he's ready to fight. So, you can't even have a rational conversation with the people because they refuse to converse in any way, shape, or form because it's all what it is. So here I am. The only way that I've got to get what's out there out. All of my friends have abandoned me. I've only got a couple of people that give a shit. And I've got nothing. Nothing. I've got no one and nowhere to go. And they're trying to take my kid from me. This would make a sane person go nuts. Now go and throw in the fact that I am bipolar 1 and borderline personality disorder and the way that I've been treated. Fucking careless, heartless bastards. What a family. What a family. Well, and there's absolutely one other thing that I need to get out there on this too. Because about 2 months ago, when I ran out of my mood stabilizer, I had made it a point to tell my mother that I was running out of my mood stabilizer and that I was probably going to get more irrational because of the fact that I could not afford my meds. And the whole thing of a lot of the attacks that have been coming from my mother really escalated right at that point. Because my mother looked at me and told me when I told her that I was running out of my meds, and she's like, well, then just don't let it happen. How does a person with mental issues that are legally diagnosed control what goes on in their head? It doesn't work that way. And so for every time that I have seen my mother, she has made it a point to grind it in the fact that I have lost my wife, that they're going to try and take my kid from me. Because she has made it an absolute point to say that once the divorce is final, you know you're going to lose your visits. They're going to take them from you. When the divorce was first started, my mother told me not to show up to the hearing. At this point, I'm beginning to wonder if they're basically sitting there talking back and forth to one another to say, how much can we screw with him to basically get him to screw up so that way we can go ahead and just take his kid from him and everything that matters. Because at this point, this is what it's become. It's what it feels like. Because I try to ask my wife why my mother told me not to show up, and she goes and plays, oh, I have no idea. I didn't even know she said that. And then, of course, when it comes to doing the visitations, she goes and tries to play the whole card of I'm not banned from my stepdad's place in front of her attorney. And so here we sit with the whole situation where she's telling me, oh, no, he's not banned. And when she goes and gets my stepdad, the first thing out of his mouth is, oh, no, not at my house. And the attorney looks at me and exactly what I was saying. But here I am, I'm getting railroaded because of the fact that I can't afford an attorney, because of the fact that my family and the people that I care about don't care enough to participate in my counseling, and they want to play these games where they're screwing with my head day in and day out. How would anybody feel when they found out that their wife is has been seeing someone for who knows how long? Because at this point, I'm figuring it has to have been months. And they're trying to put words in my mouth about the fact that I've been trying to play 20 questions with my kid, when never once have I played 20 questions with what's going on with my kid, because I don't want that game played. Because the simple fact of the matter is I'm not trying to play 20 questions with my kid. I'm trying to ask my wife and my mother what's going on. And you want to sit there and put in court papers that I'm asking my daughter? You want to outright lie in court papers. This is my life. This is the joke of my life.